This YouTube video was brought to you by Twitter. Keke Palmer tweeted out a few moments ago, 10 hours ago, specifically this video, which she co-signs it by quote tweeting it. And let's start the video.
I loved seeing this video of Keke Palmer shooting her shot at a superhero role. And
It says, Marvel, come get me now. And he's plugging it, because this guy wants to show you how he loves it. He loves the support she was getting. He's very anti-racism. Good job, white guy.
I also loved the support that came with it. But I looked in the comments and there weren't really any good suggestions for who. Best one I saw was DC's Bumble Bee. Downside there is Warner Brothers can't make a Superman movie. So
That's very funny and very true.
good luck getting her in the batting order. And
I do like the casting of Bumblebee, by the way.
the rest of it was just a bunch of sight casting for the 2 or 3 other black superwomen who get any shine, primarily Storm. But the thing is, all of those disregard Kiki's personality.
That's a great point right there, though. And Storm is an awesome character, and it's an honor to play that character and, awesomeness. The character that Keke isn't the character Aurora Monroe is. It would be much more simpler and it's acting, I'm not going to ever doubt Keke Palmer, her abilities to do Storm, but I just feel like he's got a good point where maybe it'd be simpler to squeeze her in somewhere else, cast her somewhere else.
Which is what makes her a fun, watchable actor. And Storm definitely doesn't fit there.
Yep.
If you want her to deliver a powerhouse lead, she's got to have room to play in that role. There's only one way I can think of to give her that fun, boisterous role that she thrives in, while also pissing a bunch of people off.
Stop right there. What did you just say your criteria was? There's only one thing you can think of to get her fun. What was that?
To give her that fun, boisterous role that she thrives in, while also pissing a bunch of people off.
There was only one way he could think of to do both of those things. How in the F word is pissing people off part of your strategy? That's a person who's very hate driven. You should never, in this battle against getting black faces in mainstream media and normalizing it so that our next generations grow in a world that is more mixed on TV and movies, and that battle, pissing people off is actually maybe a bad thing to do. We should do it in the most inoffensive way if possible, if it's doable. Of course, those nasty guys are going to be mad at no matter what, but pissing people off should not be the goal. If that's part of the criteria, I'm going to dislike the next thing you say. And the next thing you say, as you guys all know, is
let her be Rogue.
So one thing about Rogue is that that's Keke Palmer's face, that's Rogue's face. Keke, Rogie.
Let her wear Daisy Dukes and throw a truck at Carol Danvers. Let her save me from the Metro train and call me Suge.
So he's asking for getting Rogue. He's asking for getting her to call him Suge afterwards. He's asking for a fun kind of character which she can pull off. That's the case, and she can't do it. Thing is, her skin color doesn't match the fictional character known as Rogue, and for me, that is a criteria of the character. What I would like, actually, let's entertain this, okay? Because I want you to see how stupid it is to ever do race swaps and maybe plant your flag on somewhere on a white existing character and go, yes, progression, steps forward. It's not the case. It's actually a step sideways, and it delays real, resources going to black things that are everlastingly black things, which is the significant one that's going to exist for years and years. You guys remember how Cinderella was played by Brandy, Ray J's sister? And every depiction of Cinderella since has been what? That white girl? You see how Kingpin, for example, once was played by Michael Clark Duncan. And every Kingpin since then and before then, and it's always been a white guy. These race swaps are temporary and not everlasting. The work and effort that Keke Palmer is going to put into this character in this superhero movie she's going to do would be great if it was everlasting and it built on things that it was a house that never crumbled. If Kiki's labor, her talent is used on a character like Rogue, and the X-Men cartoon, which they're rebooting, has a white Rogue, Sugar, and every iteration afterwards, the comic book, it's not like the editor at the comics are going, ugh, they casted Keke Palmer as Rogue. Okay, guys, let's do a story where she's at a paint store, and then on aisle 10, that's the brown paint aisle, there's going to be a gamma explosion, and now Rogue is brown skinned. That doesn't happen. The character forever is the way that she looks. And in this case, it's Rogue. It's a white girl. You don't want Keke to be Rogue. What you want is Keke to be in the X-Men movie or the superhero movie and playing a black character who will always be black. And if there isn't one, because, racist comic book writers back in the days who were not thinking inclusively may have not made a Keke Palmer looking character, right? In your next movie franchise. Create one. Make Keke kick ass. Create it for Keke. Keke is worthwhile. Keke is valuable to me, at least. And I think she would be awesome in a superhero movie. And if she lent her talent and her likeness to a superhero, I'd pay money to see that film. If it was a solo film or if she's in a team film, either or, it'd be awesome. And then the work that she does 10, 20 years from now, we're going to be talking about, man, I wonder who they cast as the new Angel Salvador. Okay. She could be playing Angel from the X-Men. Well, I wonder who the new cast is the new Angel, because Keke killed it last time. It's going to be hard to follow up that one. We say that for Robert Downey, don't we? We say that for Chris Evans as Captain America. We say that for everybody who's going to be the new Logan, because what Hugh Jackman did, can't imagine if Keke could start that precedent. That is progression. I'm trying to advance, and the guy in the video was trying to piss people off. Like, no. You know what would really piss those guys off? If you want to piss them off? A world that their kids grow up in where there's one less white out of an abundance of white media. One less character there, just to mix things up a little bit. That's pretty good. A diverse world that doesn't have a temporary band-aid solution to the race problem, which is, and we lean heavily white in our media, especially the superhero ones, clearly. And the ones that are not white seem to not have a big $100 million gazillion dollar budget behind them, and they're on teams, and they're secondary on the comic book movies where there's a white lead. That's kind of bizarre. It's kind of not progressive and advancing. And here's what I mean by progressive and advancing. That's right, I brought out the Microsoft Paint, everybody. Please don't hate me if you have Colossus higher than you have Cyclops or something. Just go with it, okay? This is Angel Salvador, the character Keke Palmer could be playing. She goes to number 10 and she climbs the rank. Maybe she's the 9th most important X-Men. After a sequel, she becomes so popular, she's like the 7th most highest profile X-Men. And that is called advancing. Maybe she reaches all the way to 5, okay? She's just as important as Jean and Beast is, right around there. Then comes, if Keke Palmer played Rogue, Sugar, and what Rogue did is the same thing. She just climbed those ranks. Iceman, Ba, Sugar, Colossus, everybody. She makes it all the way up to here. And then, Kiki's too old to play the role. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is over. They reboot the whole thing. And all of a sudden, we got Rogue all the way here as like the 4th most important X-Men. Thank you, Keke, for what you did. But look, it's a white character. They could undo that and take away all of this hard work and labor that Keke did to advance her and make Rogue the 4th most recognizable to the brand can go away poof. And it's back to a white character playing that. And what we're left with is a top 10 or 11 of white characters. I ignored Storm. You get 10 out of 11 of your top characters being white. What I would prefer is if my amiga right over here named Angel made it to the top 10. Kind of like how Black Panther did that and what Chadwick Boseman was able to accomplish. That's sustaining. It's never going away. There's no reskinning of the Black Panther. Same thing here. Let's get Keke Palmer to do progressive work that lasts. So this is it. This is the video. It's about advancing characters with dark skin or look differently than white guys. So that goes for China, freaking every other part of the world. You guys just look at a map. Better if the heroes that we get on screen are diverse than it is where a black guy or black girl or black actress plays the role of what a white character was, and then they pull that from you as they've done in the past with like Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch, with like the Invisible Woman. Remember when Jessica Alba played her? Well, in the new movie, it was back to like a traditional blonde Sue Storm with white skin. It always returns. So all these, race swaps, they always get pulled and they always get taken away. What matters is the long-term one. So Tiana, Princess and the Frog, if Keke Palmer did that, and she could do that. Keke Palmer, her voice, almost there. I would love to see that. I'd pay to see that movie. Halle Bailey right now is Princess Ariel. No, it's not going to last. Princess Ariel right now. Go to Disney World right now today. The one that greets you, the Princess Ariel, doesn't look like Halle Bailey. It's never going to be that. This is temporary. She's temporary Little Mermaid. It's like you want substantial long-term movies that get the $100 million to $1 zillion budgets. And since I'm on the topic of Little Mermaid, that movie's getting a huge ass budget for something that's not gonna last. Imagine if the Princess and the Frog movie came right now. That'd be great. That'd be like it would be a quicker step forward. I know Princess and the Frog will come because it feels like they've done Dumbo, they've done Aladdin. It's due. Princess and the Frog was like a 2009 movie. I'll give it a couple years, maybe they'll catch up to the 2009 films, right? I think they still need to do Tarzan. But I would prefer if all that money that they do on this black movie called Little Mermaid right now would have went to a black movie that will stay black, with characters who will always be black and will remain, rather than fizzle out. Like, you know, when you have sand in your hand and then you can see it, and that's why Anakin hates it, because it just goes through the fingers and it's gone. It's coarse, rough, irritating, gets everywhere. Then it doesn't stay. That's what Little Mermaid is. She's sand. Halle Bailey is going to be here. Hey, great, sing a couple songs. She's not going to be the one on the backpacks. Halle Bailey is not going to be merchandised after year 2023 when that movie comes out. So year 2024, you say Little Mermaid, it's not her. You watch that movie, Wreck-It Ralph. Remember when they had all those princesses? Shout out to Moana. Jasmine, Pocahontas was in there. And Tiana from Princess and the Frog, surrounded by like 10 other white girls. The messaging there is that princesses is associated with a certain color, whether you want to admit that or not. And I feel like it's better to mix things up. Make new princesses with darker skin, with different ethnicity, different looks. I think Mulan might have been in there also. Mulan, shout out Mulan. I shouldn't have left her out. But just like different than the regular. See, that's something's wrong with I just called it regular. It's not regular, but it feels regular because it's been made the default because of the world that I grew up in. And I don't want the next generation to grow up in this world where I would dare think to say it's regular for princesses to come in that color. That's not right. Okay. Caught myself, but happened on camera. Glad to show you the weakness in the mental weakness that happened right now. And since we opened the Little Mermaid bag, can you imagine this? There's a white girl living right now in the world, right now, 6, 7 years old. Ariel looks like her, loves that movie Under the Sea. She's singing it. And then she watches this new thing and she sees Halle Bailey's likeness as Ariel. And she goes, ugh, she's perturbed by it. She's all of a sudden upset that the Ariel she knew and looked like no longer matches her skin tone. She doesn't understand world history, the nuances, or the social freaking reasons for why Disney did what they wanted to do there, and all the reasons you celebrate it if you're supporting it. Do we really want her to have a negative, taken aback, or any negativity, even the minutest, towards a person of a darker skin color? That sounds like the origin story of a villain. I don't want little white girls who look like Ariel to not look like Ariel anymore and be upset they don't look at it and possibly take it out in an unproductive, dangerous way. These are destructive, and I bet no one thought of something like that. I bet no one thinks that way. That's how I do think of this whole Little Mermaid fiasco. I'm off topic. Keke Palmer, talented. Let her do Princess and the Frog. Cast her there. Let her be an X-Men or brand new X-Men who's never existed, and then they can make comics about her and make her just as important as Cyclops and Logan and Storm and Jean Grey. And if we can do that, that's much better than a temporary version of Rogue. Oh, I like what they did in that movie. They made Rogue black. Yeah, all right. Now she's X-Men in '97. She's back to a white woman with that sugar voice, honey. And I don't want Rogue Keke. I want Keke to be someone who's permanent. I'm not sending this video to Keke, but as you can see, she kind of agreed.
I loved seeing this video.
When she said, "Come on, agent," that was her, saying, "I want in on this. I want in on Rogue." I would advise this woman if I knew her in real life, and I'd speak to her in the same low tone that I'm talking now. I wouldn't explode on her. What do you talk about? That's a step backwards. Tell her, what you need, Keke, is to have a lasting role that moves us as a people forward in a better direction, and use your talent so that we still talk about the work that you did, and you're not freaking Brandy from Cinderella, who they don't sell merchandise anymore with that likeness of Cinderella. Cinderella is, we know what she looks like. Okay. I'm Chillmonger. I'm outie.